Hello, my friends, and thank you for joining us on another trip, joining me on another trip, I should say. I received this past, maybe a week and a half ago, I received a correspondence from one of you guys, and it kind of went something like this. Have a young lady who says, well, she's different. And she's having trouble finding a place to worship. And, at first I was like, hey, somewhere there's a place for you. I mean, all the different churches, all the different denominations, all the different faiths, all the different, the way they handle their services and what they do, somewhere there is a place to worship that fits you. The thing is, sometimes that place is not in the same state or is not in the same community, and so sometimes it's difficult to find. So I understood that. But then she started telling me about why she was having so much trouble finding a place to worship. That she felt comfortable, that she felt loved, that she felt accepted. And she says because she was so different. She says she's looks different. She says she wears her hair different than most people. She said her hair is actually a different color than most people. The clothes she wears are different from most people. How she walks is different. How she talks is different. She says she's just plain old different. And she was feeling like she couldn't be herself, like she was going to have to be forced to change just so she could have a worship experience. And we've communicated back and forth a couple of times, and I wanted to share her story with you guys today, and even though this is directed for her, it may benefit someone else. So with her permission, and though I'm still going to keep her identity is mangled and confusing as possible, so that no one finds out. Though I don't think she's not trying to hide who she is, but you know what? I don't out people like that. To be fair, because even though I love everybody and I try to treat everybody with respect, not everybody has that same love for people. And people find differences in people and they pick at them in order to be mean and cruel, or just so they feel superior. So I'm not going to out anybody. You don't have to worry about that. If you share something with me, even if I bring it up in the show with your permission and we do an episode or a drive about it, a trip about it, I'm still going to do as much as I can to confuse your identity, unless you adamantly say, hey, I'm making a stand. I want you to say my name. I want you to tell my story. Then that's a little different, and I'll take under consideration, and we'll talk about it back and forth and see how we handle it. But anywho, this poor lady is getting such a beat down because she's different. And I'm gonna tell you just what I told her. If it wasn't for different people, then one of the most important sacraments, feast days, one of the most important things about the Christian identity would not have come to pass. I'll throw a scripture reference on the bottom. But in the King James Version, not any of the modern versions that are a little more understanding and a little more detailed and a little more accepting. I mean the straight up King James, eye for an eye, brutal version of the Bible. Over in the New Testament, it says that when the Passover feast came up, just before the crucifixion, we all know it as the Last Supper. When the Passover feast came up, Jesus told his couple of disciples, I want you to go into town. And when you get into town, you're going to find an extraordinary person doing an extraordinary thing. Now, let me explain extraordinary. If you were in space and you were going to leave your capsule they would call that extravehicular, which means out of the vehicle. If you were from outer space, alien came to visit Earth, they would call you an extraterrestrial because you are out from the Earth, out of the Earth. So when I say extraordinary, you're out of the ordinary. So he said, I want you to go in town, find this out of the ordinary person, this guy, and when you find this out of the ordinary guy, I want you to follow him. That's what it says. Read it. You say, no, I read it and it doesn't say that. What it says was, you're going to go into town and you're going to find a guy carrying a pitcher of water. Listen, folks. In most cases, culturally, back in the day, back in this period of time, men didn't go get the water from the well. Why you think there was always saying the woman at the well this and the woman at the well that? Because normally the women folk went and got the water and prepared all the stuff around the house. That was a woman's job. So, first of all, they knew he was extraordinary because he was carrying a pitcher of water. They knew he was out of the ordinary because men didn't do that. So when he said, go into town and find a man carrying a pitcher, when you walk in there, you're going to see a man carrying a pitcher of water. In order for a man with a pitcher of water to stand out, it has to be out of the ordinary for a man to carry a pitcher of water. So right then and there, he said, there's an out of the ordinary fellow. I want you to follow him. Another way you knew he was out of the ordinary is because when he got done getting the water, he went straight back to where he belonged. He went straight back home. How many of us, when I used to have employees on my day job, and you guys, I work 2 jobs, but on my night job is corporate, the day job is me. But when I used to actually have employees on my job sites, the problem I had was if I sent a man to Home Depot to get a 2x4, it would take 2 hours because they would stop and eat, they would stop and visit their friends, they would stop to make phone calls, they would run by the house to see if their DVD was recording, they would do all DVR recording, they do all this stuff instead of coming straight back when they had their task completed. So this man was out of the ordinary because he even went straight back home. So here was an out of the ordinary man doing the out of the ordinary things, carrying water and going home. And I could go on all day about that. But when he got home, the Bible says that Jesus said, when you follow him to his destination, ask the good man of the house. Tell a good man of the house that the master needs a place to celebrate the Passover. He needs a place to celebrate the feast. And the good man of the house is going to already have a room prepared. And it's going to already be ready. It's already going to have everything it needs in order for a feast. So why wasn't the good man himself using his own room? I don't think the good man was going to have any guests because the good man was out of the ordinary. Because the good man of the house was keeping house with another man. Hey, you read it how you read it, I read it how I read it. You ain't got to agree with me, but it pretty much says it. Because the man who got the water and the good man of the house are 2 separate people. So I can theorize that the reason he had a room set up is because he wanted to celebrate the feast, but nobody was going to show up. Because they were different. They were living an alternate lifestyle. Now, not to be rude, not to be offensive, but we all know how it looks. And in 3 of the 4 Gospels tell this incident. One of them doesn't mention it at all. 2 of them say it just the way I said it. Tell the good man, master's coming to use your room. And one of it says, you will go into town and you will find a certain man. Follow him, blah, blah, blah. We're all adults here. And we all know. When people live an alternate lifestyle, whether it's fringe, whether it's, multiples, whether it's, open relationships, whether it's, LGBT, when people live an alternate lifestyle, sometimes for some reason some people feel to say it is to approve of it. So right here, it really feels to me, and it really seems like this was an occasion where these people were living an alternate lifestyle because one of the gospel writers couldn't even say it. A certain man. There's all kinds of certain men in a town. But when people say a certain man, it's got those, who you're going to follow him. So you walk in to town and you see a certain man, you know who to follow. But had it not been for these certain men, Jesus would have had nowhere to celebrate the Passover. And I think he made a point of going there and celebrating it there because it was so not done. All through his ministry, all through his history, he always chose people and places to do ministry that were out of the mainstream. Those people who were forgotten, who were too different to be bothered with, who were beneath, who were below. Those people who were ostracized. He made a point of dealing with them, whether they were leopards or Samaritans or blind or whatever it was. Romans, the overseers themselves. He made a point of dealing with these people to show that he loved them and accepted them for who they are, what they were, and where they were. That love doesn't matter. It doesn't depend on what you do. For me to restrict my love for you because you're different from me? His whole lifestyle, his whole ministry was saying that I love these people even though they don't do what I do. I love these people even though they don't eat what I eat, they don't say what I say, they don't dress the way I dress, their culture's not the same, their religion may not be the same. No matter what it is about them, I still love them, I still accept them because that's what I'm here for. So to be honest, it pisses me off. Though I may not have showed it when I was talking to her, to be fair, but now this is my time. This is my spotlight. This is my stage. And I'm going to show the emotion that I wanted to show when I was counseling. And it pisses me off to know that she had so much trouble in the church. The one place that no matter how different you are, no matter what you are, no matter who you are, you should be accepted and you should be loved. You should be appreciated. Not ostracized, not pushed to the side, not sat over in the undesirable section, not covered up, not, oh, you can't come in, let's put this on you. Oh, well, we will allow you to come in, but you have to come to this service. Well, you can come around to the side, we'll feed you. No. Come in the front door. We love you. We want you however you are. So yeah, I'm upset. I don't get upset normally, but I'm very upset. And I'm showing you guys that because it's ridiculous. And it offends me that even in this modern age, we still don't know how to love people just because they're different. Foolishness is that. We wouldn't even have our religion. It wouldn't even be the same if it wasn't for different people. Had Jesus spent his whole ministry just with the acceptables? just with the desirables, the whole ministry would be different. Our whole religion would be different. That's other than love, because I love people in general, and I've learned to love people, and I really do just love people. Even if it wasn't for the fact that I love people so much, because of the example that Jesus set, I would still hang out with LGBTs and accept them, alternates, fringe, Muslims, atheists, agnostics, Taoists, all those people that you don't want to fool with, that you think is unacceptable to you. I hang with all those people. I run, I have in my circle are criminals and gays and lesbians and Muslims and Buddhists and non-determined. I have those people in my circle, and I love them all dearly. Because that's what Jesus did. That's what Christ did. He just loved them all. So if I profess to be a Christian, which I do, unlike you guys know, I don't try to evangelize, I don't try to convert nobody. So this is pretty much a Christian message to Christians, though some other people may get something out of it, which I try to make all my trips do. But this is pretty much a Christian on Christian thing. If I profess and confess to be a Christian, I cannot do that and not accept a person. I cannot do that and not accept someone who's of a different religion. I cannot do that and not accept someone who's of a different culture, of a different race, of a different gender, of a different sexual orientation. I cannot do that and still be a Christian. I have to accept these people here. Even I'm sounding like I have to accept different people, because that is part of my mandate as a Christian, to accept and love. So if I can't accept and love people, then I don't have the right to call myself a Christian. Point blank. So for all these churches who turn this young lady away, I think you should take your name off your building and turn it to something else. Because I don't think you should be allowed to call yourself a Christian institution and run these people out your damn church. That ain't cool. You get no cool points with me for that. That's just wrong. Anywho, so being different is okay. Being who you are is okay. Once again, the thing that matters is loving people, respecting people, accepting people for who and what they are. That's what matters. So stop labeling people so much and stop pulling up all this old baggage that doesn't matter to the Christian condition. That stuff doesn't matter as long as you have the love in your heart. Anywho, that was part of my correspondence with this young lady. And it came in, and we had some other correspondence that I didn't know at first if I was going to address it or not, but I think I will. But I'll stop here and I'll discuss that correspondence, or that portion of our correspondence, in the next video. So anywho, what I want you to leave here today with is, I don't care, and Christ doesn't care what you are. The only thing he cares about is that you love one another. Through showing your love for each other, you show your love for him. If you show your love for him, then he accepts you. If he accepts you when it's time to go up, he vouches for you to get in to the afterlife, to heaven, to glory, nirvana. I don't know what you want to call it. What it is, the next state of being, to have a good time at it, you need his acceptance to get past the door. That's it. That's all I want you guys to do. I dare say some of you who don't even confess to be Christians, but who do all the stuff that's necessary as far as loving, I think you're probably going to get in before some of us who fall down on our knees every day. Yeah, I said it. I really do believe that. Because you guys have learned to love, and a lot of us Christians still haven't figured it out. But anywho, take it from me. You are loved. You are accepted. And pay those people no attention who try to keep you out, who try to keep you down, and keep you separated. Because you're a part of us, body. You're a part of us. And we welcome you. Cool? All right. Until next time, the next trip, this is the Howie Holy Man. Remember, I love you guys. I cherish you guys. I'm with you to the end. And I want you just to continue to believe in yourself and love each other. And I'm signing out. I'm out.